Welcome. This is a relatively short video on how to set up your computer so that you can record your presentation one side by side with half of your screen being your video and the other half of your screen being your PowerPoint, so it will look something like this type of setup when uh, when you're finished. I will take you through the steps that you have to go through to make sure that you set it up properly. It's not simple, but it is an effective way to do an online presentation. So the first thing you need to do is you need to log into Zoom, and I want you to use Zoom for a couple of reasons. First, everyone at school has a Zoom account because you can use your Hanyang email address to set up that Zoom account, and you can use it while you're at Hanyang University. So that's one reason. The second reason is that Zoom has very, very good video compression, and it allows for longer videos to keep a small file size. And since I have to download all these videos and save them for several years, um, I want them to be as small file size as possible. So as you can see here, I am using Zoom right now to uh, show you this video. But one thing that is a bit different or a bit unusual is that you actually won't be using a video in Zoom. So you will have to shut off the video. So I'll minimize that for now. And what we do need to use is, instead of using Zoom, use your camera. So if you are recording through Zoom, you have a camera, but you need to shut the camera off on Zoom so that you can use it in another format. So we will use that there. And then also, because you're doing a PowerPoint presentation, you need to open up PowerPoint. So we'll use this as my example PowerPoint file. But when it comes to presenting, I don't want to present with this because it's got all the controls at the top, and it's got all the advanced slides on the bottom, and there's more controls on the bottom. So I don't want to use this. So we need to understand how to use PowerPoint. If you are using PowerPoint on a Windows machine with a Windows operating system, the easiest thing you can do is, at the bottom of the screen, this is your normal presentation mode, but there's a button next to it. The next button is called Reading View. And if you click Reading View, what that does is it allows your PowerPoint to be shown in a window. If you don't have Windows, you're using a Mac system or you're using something else, you can go to, you can still set it up through Slideshow, and then go to Setup Slideshow. And then this is the default to go into full screen view. But if you click on the second option, browsed by an individual window, and click OK, then you can start presenting from the beginning. You can also set this up as a window. Then what I want you to do is to size both your PowerPoint and your camera to roughly half the screen. So what you want is the PowerPoint window and your camera window to be roughly equal size. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I don't make it perfect. In fact, if anything, I will make the PowerPoint window slightly larger so that, why did that happen? Okay, I'm going to go back here again, size it to half the window. and then I want to pick that, and I want to move it over so that I'm covering up these controls. So I just resize it a little bit to make sure that those controls are covered up. This is the setup that I want, but this is not what you record. So you have to go back into Zoom, and you need to share screen. And when it gets to share screen, it does give you all your currently open windows. And so I'm recording this. Your camera's open, your PowerPoint's open. It shows which screens you have as an option. I'm also recording this so you get the full screen mode right now. But what you need to do is to click on the Advanced tab. Some of you have Basic, Advanced, and you might also have Files, but click on Advanced and click Portion of Screen. And when you share to a portion of the screen, you are going to get this green frame that turns orange when you resize it. And when you resize it, you need to resize it so that you are only selecting your PowerPoint and your video. Do not select the programs that are open on the side. Do not select the controls that are here for your camera. And so size it that way. This is, you will only be recording what is inside this green frame, which is important. The smaller you make it or the tighter you make it to the PowerPoint and the camera video frame, the smaller your video file size will be. So once you have that set up, you need to go to your Zoom settings and you need to record. You have two options for recording, and one is recording on the computer and the other one is recording to the cloud. I recommend that you record to the cloud because you are running 3 programs already. You're running your camera, you're running PowerPoint, and you're running Zoom. By recording to the cloud, you kind of offload some of that CPU load to a cloud computer. So you don't have to have a super powerful computer to do this. So when you record to the cloud, you can use the controls like Alt-C, or you can just click and it will start recording. Now, you don't have to be completely ready to start right at the beginning, but when you click start, you should be relatively ready to start and say, okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to do a presentation about some online presentation tips. And then you can gesture towards your PowerPoint. You can scroll through your PowerPoint with your mouse or with the controls at the bottom here. These are not going to be recorded inside. Only what's inside this frame is being recorded. So you do your presentation, you make your gestures, you make your eye contact. Remember, you're trying to make as much eye contact with your audience as you can. And so you go through your PowerPoint, you do your video, and then when you are finished, you go back to the recording, and this will not be recorded. This part here will not be recorded. So don't let that throw you, but it does take a few seconds. Again, don't worry about it because you can just click stop recording. And again, this part will not show up in your video. So are you sure you want to stop recording? Click yes. And if you're happy with your video, then there's one more thing you have to do. You have to stop share and you have to end your meeting. So when you end the meeting, this will pop up and you need to wait a few minutes and check your email that you associate with your Zoom account. So you will get a notification email or whatever you need to when it'll be ready to check. So I will pause this, and when I get my email ready, or maybe I'll check it now. I doubt that it's ready yet. I've done a couple of practice ones already, but I will pause this and start again when I actually have the notification email from Zoom. All right, so it's been a couple of minutes and I now have my email from Zoom. So I go in there, and as you can see, it says your recording will automatically be deleted after 14 days. Go in, view the details. Your recording should be here. Click on it, and this is where you can review it. So you start playing and just click and it will start recording. Now, you don't have to be completely ready to start right at the beginning, but when you click start, you should be relatively ready to start and say, okay, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so this is where I wanted to start. So if I back that up, then I can trim it. And so I can get rid of all of that information that I didn't want there. So say I want to trim it from there. That's good. I can continue listening. But when you click start, you should be relatively ready to start and say, all right, so that's where I actually want to start, right about there. Okay. And so then I listen to it. If I'm happy with it, when it comes to the end, I want to stop it. Because you can just click stop recording. And again, this part will not show up in. So here, this is where the drop-down menus were and your video. So are you sure you want to stop recording? That doesn't show up in your video. So, but I don't want that in my video. So I will trim this back as well. And then I can just click trim and trim the video. So the beginning and the end are gone. Now it's 1 minute and 18 seconds instead of 1 minute and 24 seconds. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to do a presentation about some online. Because you can just click stop recording and there you go. You see it's trimmed down. So when you're happy with your video, one thing, you can add sections. It allows you to add sections, but I will not allow you to add sections. So if I notice that your video has been edited, I will not accept it. All right. So when you trim it, it will take a few minutes for it to be reloaded or reshared, but you can download or delete your files. So this is what you would do. You would download it and then you would upload it to the LMS so I can grade it as your assignment. Okay. So that is it. As I was going to say, if I find any edits in your video, I'm going to send it back to you and say you need to redo this in a single take. And that means if it takes you another day or 2 days, then you have late penalties for 1 or 2 days, however long it takes from the time I send it back to you, from the time I send you a message that I'm not going to accept it. So please don't do any editing for your video. I will not accept them. This is supposed to be a replacement for a live presentation. So in the middle of a live presentation, you can't say, oh, sorry, I want to start again. You don't get to do that. So you don't get to do that in this video either. All right. So this is a very easy way to set it up and make sure that you can easily see you as the presenter. And I can also see your PowerPoint very clearly, what you're talking about. You're doing your proposal. So that's how I would like you to set up the video. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know as soon as possible.